Hi, I'm Matthew Rippon and this is all about me. I was born in the Bahamas in 1969. Because of this, I have always been proud to be able to call myself a dual national, although, in fact, the only chance I get to use my Bahamian passport is when I travel to other countries in the Caribbean. And since the only other country in the Caribbean that I ever visited is Barbados in 1998, my Bahamian passport has now expired with just one stamp in it. My family returned to England when I was young, just in time for the birth of my two younger brothers. We pitched up in King's Lynn in Norfolk, which was a bit of a culture shock after the tropical delights of Nassau. Fortunately, growing up in Norfolk instilled in me a lifelong devotion to Norwich City Football Club, a commitment that has grown ever more ardent following my move 8 years ago to the northeast of England. This is what I like to drive. This is what I actually drive. This is how I like to spend my time. This is how I actually spend most of my time. I like respect, sunshine, and good design. I don't like heights, bad service, or rhubarb. And I'd rather get lost than ask for directions. I come from a whole family of lawyers. My father was an attorney in the Bahamas, which was where he met my mother, who was the daughter of the Chief Justice. My grandfather, before becoming the Chief Justice of the Bahamas, had been a QC and subsequently a High Court judge. My father was an equity partner in a mid-sized firm of solicitors in Norfolk before himself converting to become a barrister. My godfather was a barrister and an attorney and partner in the biggest law firm in the Bahamas. My youngest brother is a barrister. I therefore resolved on graduation that I would never practice law. Unfortunately, I had spent my year out before university working in my godfather's law firm in the Bahamas and returned there to work for the following 2 summers. As many lawyers will know, the tendency towards legal practice is genetic, and the genes in question had already been triggered by the time of my resolution. Accordingly, although I spent 2 years working in the wines and spirits trade in the Bahamas, in the end I found I couldn't fight the fact that I was more interested in what my young lawyer friends were doing than what I was doing, and I returned to England to attend law school. I had fully intended to return to the Bahamas to practice corporate law and make stacks of money, but I ended up marrying an English rose whose complexion would not have withstood the 11 months of sunshine that my homeland offers. We now have 2 children. After qualifying at a high street firm in King's Lynn, I moved to a small commercial firm in Norwich where I was very happy. I moved from there to a position in Ipswich that gave me the chance to practice intellectual property full-time, since I had found that to be by far the most interesting area of law. Notwithstanding the indignity of having to spend 3 years with Ipswich Town Football Club as my biggest client, this remains an opportunity I was grateful for. In 2003, the chance arose for us to relocate to the northeast of England where we could be closer to my wife's family, most of whom reside in Wensleydale. I joined Watson Burton in Newcastle where I was able to broaden my practice into commercial IP, having trained originally as a litigator. This was during Watson Burton's boom time, which was very exciting but couldn't last. I was one of the first of an exodus from the firm, moving to BHP as a partner in 2007. This gave me the opportunity for the first time of living and working in the same town, something that I've noticed is common in Italy, where we spend our summer holidays. Working at BHP gave me a chance to prove some of the theories that I've been considering at Watson Burton. One of those was that it was possible to do almost everything that a lawyer can offer his or her clients on a fixed fee basis, but only if you left behind entirely the traditional thinking that stifles traditional law firms. Another theory was that there was a market in smaller businesses if only you could get away from providing long lists of everything that needed doing and helped those businesses prioritise what they needed to do now and what could wait until later. Deb McGargle joined me in 2010, and it was at that point we were able finally to offer to our clients effectively a law firm within a law firm. All the IP, employment, commercial, corporate, commercial property and corporate finance services that we would normally offer to a regular client base, but tailored specifically for smaller businesses, many of whom were growth-oriented. However, there were still many businesses who were approaching us for some assistance, but who could not afford to engage us even on this innovative and low-cost basis. In order to leverage these connections, we had to rethink the way legal services are delivered. The result is Particular.pro. And so if I was a figure from history, well, I guess it would have to be Che Guevara. And that's me.